Dear students, welcome to the course Organization of Knowledge in E-Environment. I'm Professor Dr. Dušanka Bošković and I'm coming from the University of Sarajevo. I'm professor at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, but I'm also teaching at the University at the Faculty of Philosophy, Department of Comparative Literature and Information Sciences, within the course Organization of Knowledge at Doctoral Studies. Within these few modules, I will present to you the main topics and ideas we teach in this course, just to help you to manage the main definitions and to find relevant sources where you can find more detailed and important information for this course. We are focused on the topics linked to the development of the semantic web, and we would like to teach you how semantic web affects the topics like models, standards, and rule, how to describe knowledge, and to enable and improve access to that knowledge on the web. In the beginning, we had Web 1.0, and everything was focused on presenting information, and users were able to read, to access information and knowledge. Afterwards, in 2004, there were many applications on the web that offered users to interact with the knowledge, with information, to change it, to create their own information, to post something, to grade, to like, to share with others. And with that, we started to think also about the usability of the applications on the web and how to enable users without much effort to interact information and to become creators and editors of the knowledge presented. Actually, now we would like to have something even more. We would like to have semantic web that will enable that content is understandable also by machines, by computers. And there are many standards that describe how we should extend the web to achieve this goal. The standards are offered by the W3C, which is the World Wide Web Consortium, established in 1994, as I already mentioned, and with many different members. This is a non-profit public interest organization. What we would like to see in Web3, we would like to see that we easily interact with data presented in different modalities, meaning heterogeneous data, and we want to have more advanced interpretation and access to these data. In order to achieve so, we have to embed alongside with data semantics. We will need to use ontology languages and technologies to describe these ontologies. So we can say that semantic web provides a common framework that enables mutual sharing and reuse of data between applications, enterprises, and communities. Just pay attention. You will find the notion of Web3, but sometimes not linked with semantic web, but only with with abilities to have participant ownership of content and technologies like blockchain enabling trust. But now we can say that these ideas a little bit converge, and this Web3 can be complementary to Web 3.0. But we will go back to our semantic web, and we will just mention that that idea came from Tim Berners-Lee, whom we need to thank for having web at all. And he was the one that was behind establishing the W3C, meaning World Wide Web Consortium, in 1994. What is the idea behind semantic web? We want to have decentralized web, but intelligent and machine readable. In order to achieve that, we need to model all the concepts we deal with, and these models are called ontologies. We need conceptual models of entities we want to present and share, and we need to create knowledge graphs, also describing the relationship between the objects that we present. So these knowledge graphs are having enabling role. And now just to remind ourselves what we want to achieve, enabling what? We want improved access to information. We want better search for information, or more precisely, better ways to extract information. When we say search, then we imagine that it is somewhere exactly in the form we are searching for. But no, we want sometimes to extract a new knowledge from the knowledge published in the web. But we need to remind ourselves that these ideas were present from the very beginning of the web, and actually at that time the search was not as successful as now, that we will see in the few slides. But what was clear from the very beginning, that we need to really define conceptual models of the objects we present on the web. For example, here you have a student model, and it is important that you note that there are different contexts in which student as object can be found, and we need to describe all relevant information linked to student in different contexts and different domain, but here it is emphasized that we are speaking in this case about education domain. In order to have success in implementing the semantic web, we focus, as I said, on information extraction. And the standard approach is that authors, creators of information, provide us with something that we can use for search, like keywords and titles. But it is quite often that users find that some content for them is also additional, providing more than the authors had in mind. So it is quite useful that we have possibility of tagging, that users can link some knowledge and information with keywords that are important for users. In both cases, we have people that describe the presented knowledge, but actually, even in traditional technology, there were applications that were able to perform content analysis, and by techniques called natural language processing, to extract the main topics that are linked to some information presented on the web. Now that we have algorithms supported by artificial intelligence, we can have even much more improved content analysis. So if we look now for a search in a Google and we put knowledge graphs, and I added knowledge panels because this is something specific for the Google, we will get not only the links to the pages where we can find more about this information. You see, we will have in the beginning AI overview. So we will have some basic definitions, hints, some summary of the information we are looking for, not only links. And also we can get, based on this question, some advices what also we can look for based on the experience with other users that were looking for the same topic. I will just briefly remind you that actually 15 years ago, Google procured the company that was developed these concepts as knowledge graphs and knowledge panels, and used them to improve their search. So we need to have in mind that now, if we speak about the semantic web and look at the web 2.0 we are using now, dealing with, it a lot converged to the idea of semantic web, and many techniques of the search are not anymore standard and plain, but already are relying on improved methods of the extracting of information. You can look to some examples where some topics that I have mentioned in this module. You can find more information, like on a resource description framework, also some examples of ontologies for genes or for web for life sciences. We will continue with these topics in the next module.